the last half year, I've been interested in biotech. And when I came here, people were talking about sickle cell disease, so I figured, why don't I try an approach I've been thinking about and like really see if I can make it work. So let's talk about sickle cell disease, or specifically sickle cell anemia, the most common variant. So there's a single codon, and we won't worry about the genetic part, which creates a single mutation of a single amino acid on a globulin B chain. And that mutation is at valine position 6. It used to be glutamic acid, which was water absorbent, but the valine makes it water repellent. Here's the problem. When it's water repellent, that means that the water is being pushed away from the actual globulin strand itself, and it creates a pocket such that nearby hemoglobins scrunch up together. When they start doing that, it becomes a catastrophic recursive reaction, and the whole cell turns into a sickle. So the thought is, okay, we've got this one point. How hard could it be, right? One point that is water repellent. Can we make it water absorbent? Can we put a bandage on it to change its functional properties by changing its physical properties? So I built a pipeline using protein BERT. Protein BERT is a transformer model that's trained on masked amino acid data sets, masked proteins. And what that kind of does is it creates embeddings within the model and give it this language we call proteinish. It can kind of have some intuitions about how the various constituent components of a protein come together. And so in my pipeline, what I did was I chose a local region around the one mutated amino acid. So here's that valine. We did TP of X. And before I feed it to the model, I went online, like, okay, what are the likely attachment points over here? It's not going to be valine itself. It doesn't have any side chains. And it turns out that lysine is the most strong one. It's got a bunch of reactive elements. With the K and the T, K is okay and T is really weak. And I fed to my pipeline, like, hey, I want to do a bandage on this. And here's what's really cool. It actually said, you know what? You don't want to cover this area. You want to cover this whole area. And here's why. Turns out it used the property that this mutation is so close to the beginning of the chain that it can use the end of the chain as a strong attachment point to nail down the bandage instead of having this weak one at the chlorine. And the model also predicted what is the composition of the bandage. Now, this approach, turns out there's a name for it. Putting a protein on top of a protein, it's called a allosteric patch. But historically, the way that people design these patches is manual. Scientists know what they're looking for, and it takes them a long time to make these. So the insight over here is that why don't we outsource some of this stuff to machines? Now, there's a lot of challenges. So this is just the beginning of the theoretical approach. These globulin chains, they're deep inside the hemoglobin that's inside the red blood cell.
You have 30 seconds.
Gotcha, yeah. Ask me about challenges later and next steps. But
Done.
The value prop is this. It's not just for sickle cells. For any kind of disease or condition that could benefit from a functional change, I've got ideas about how we can automate some of that funnel in the pipeline digitally before it goes to lab work.